Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Annetta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today on Monday, so this is a couple days before Christmas. I actually have to go through this quickly because we have like 2 hours and 20 minutes to film this video, to pack everything and to drop it off. So I have to go really quick. I wish I could talk more about this stuff, but I'll do my best. All right, the first thing right here is a vintage porcelain like secretary on a typewriter. This was like, I have a rule at the storage unit. Right before I leave, I sit in my car, I look down at my phone. If there's an order, I'll go back in and get it. There used to be times in the past where I would come back and circle to the storage unit if I was like 5-10 minutes away. I don't do that anymore. I look down, if there's a sale, this popped in. I was like, okay, I have to go back in. I got it. This sold for $15 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping, so I'll just save us some time right now. All right, next up is going to be 4 Trickerion extra wooden cylinders for collector's edition board game. You probably can't see this, so I'm not too sure. They're just literally 4 little like wooden pieces, red, yellow, green, and blue. This sold for $12. Pretty good for board game bits and pieces or like extras and stuff like that. All right, next up is going to be some Old Glory figures. These look like little like aliens or something. Let me double check that I grabbed the right ones. Yeah, these are like lions. Actually, you probably won't be able to see. But yeah, these are 15 millimeter, like little alien lion figures, metal miniatures. These sold for, let's see, to a repeat buyer for $7.17. We always get little bits and pieces of miniatures like that. All right, moving along, we have a Star Trek Constitution class. This is the second one, which is why I wrote B on it. This is for Attack Wing, but this is the Deep Cuts WizKids version, so it's pre-primed, ready to paint. I don't think there's rules in it. You could just like swap it into the game, I think. The actual Attack Wing stuff is worth a lot more. This ended up selling for $12, so it's pretty good. I got a bunch of that stuff recently. All right, moving along is something we got from the yard sale. I think Annetta grabbed this. This is like a wooden boat toy right here, and it has like a little rubber band and a little like a flapper propeller thing. I think this actually works. This sold for $15, so yeah, we've picked up like stuff like this before, just before we started the channel. All right, so that was $15. All right, moving along is to a repeat buyer. This is Cosmic Spider-Man. I actually remember this Chase Rare from HeroClix. Here's his card. The special thing about this figure is he can actually shoot through walls and stuff. I think, like, to my memory, from when I stopped playing, he was the only one that can do that. This sold for $19.25. That's still pretty good because this thing used to be $60, and these things kind of go, like the vintage ones go down in value as the power creep of the figures go up over the years, which is weird to me because usually collectibles, the older it is, the more expensive it is. All right, next up is going to be also something pretty cool. This is the WoW TCG Molten Core raid deck where you can play the game co-op. This one's going to be sealed. It's also interesting. I have a bunch of the dungeon decks that I collect myself. I see this is the most common one that I find, this raid deck, this one or a Nixia. This one's pretty cool because there's always like a little booster pack in the end where if like your players defeat the whole dungeon, you actually get like a booster pack of reward and loot cards. They're like shinies. So there's like an extra collectible component within these. Even if you already have one, it's like you got the loot from the boss. What did you get? This sold for $38. So yeah, I always keep an eye out for these. I think I got an auction in a big box of dead card game stuff for $11. All right, moving along, we have a combo order. These are 10 Battlefield miniatures right here. A lot of them have the code STR or RUS. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the RUS is Russian. I don't know what the STR is just off the top of my head. So yeah, there's going to be like 9 of these little packets. They paid at different times, so I don't fully know the full price. They paid for 3 individual ones. I'm just going to show a couple more. And then they, yeah, I can move on. There's a bunch of these. And then there's these yellow ones as well right there. So 3 separate purchases of 15 for individual ones, which is pretty good. That's 45. And then later on down here, sorry, they paid at like different times. They must have saw that we had more. And then they bought a combo of 7 for $168. So that's what, a little over 200. That's pretty insane. It's pretty good. We've gotten stuff like that before. That's why we pick up all these little miniatures. Even if I can't label them, I'll still put the company, where they're from on the back. I'll try to measure them. I'll try to measure them and I'll put the little code up there, which may or may not be relevant for identifying them. I don't know. Sometimes I can find websites from the past that help me identify them. All right, next up is going to be a German board game. I have to move this stuff right here. Shrill Still or something like that. It has like sun damage on the front for the cover. This thing is complete. So yeah, I'm not too sure what this one is, but I always pick up foreign board games. This one I got $22, probably because I have to pay $20, it looks like, in shipping. Yeah, this one's complete. You can use translator, or I just kind of like can look at like, oh, there's 10 of this bit, and I just count 10 of a bit. That's kind of how I figure out if they're complete or not. So 22 for a big board game is pretty good. All right, moving along, we have a little broken miniature. This is missing the sword. This is Elrond from Games Workshop. So yeah, maybe they're gonna fix the sword. Maybe they just want the figure. It doesn't look too bad. He still has like the handle that he's holding down there. You probably can't see it for $5. That's not too bad. That stuff's been doing pretty well. All right, next up is going to be a CD. We got a bunch of CDs for $75 for a full car full like 4 years ago. Corey, Chris Hansen, don't know them. Don't know him. I don't really listen to any kind of music, so even popular people I wouldn't know. So someone might be screaming, how do you not know this person? I don't know. I've been playing games and stuff my whole life. I don't know. Music never really got to me. $18.74 for this. Obviously, I know a little bit, but like compared to people where they know like hundreds or thousands of artists and stuff, I know like 5. No joke. All right. Next up is going to be a lot of 10. Pathfinder 7 out of 8 inches. Standy bases. Standy bases are actually really hard to find out there if you're like an RPG person or a DM where you need little standy bases. They almost don't exist. You usually get them within other products. I think this comes in some like Pathfinder product, or you buy like a little expensive pack. So the best way to get these is cheap on eBay or other reselling platforms. This sold for $8.24 for 10 of those. Those are things that people usually throw away. I know they're important, so I list them. It doesn't take me too long. All right, yeah, sorry, I'm sprinting. We really are low on time. All right, next up is going to be 2 Robert Conroy books right here. Some like alternate reality history books right here. It looks like there's Rising Sun and Liberty, 1784. We get a bunch of books cheap. This sold for $11.25. I'll lot them together if it's the same person or whatever, or the same author or topic. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 26. These are Zendikar, Magic the Gathering, tips, rules, trick cards. A lot of people rip these, get rid of them. These are actually old ones, so this is pretty cool. These are from like 2010. I actually spent, I think it was like $40 or $60 at an auction a long time ago that normally doesn't have nerd stuff. I was like, you know what? I've never gambled on like a little like box of cards. Maybe someone had other stuff that they were turning into the auction. Maybe they didn't know nerd stuff. There's 3 types of collections you can get for like card games. One is the person knows exactly the value. They pick everything that's above whatever they think is worth their time. Let's just say they pick everything $1 or more, right? That's one way collection you can find. Another one is someone that thinks that they have a bunch of knowledge, but they don't. They play the game more than having the knowledge of it. So you'll find a lot of good stuff. You'll find $5, $10, $15 cards that have just slipped through the cracks because they think they have the knowledge and they don't. And the last one is the dream, where the person doesn't really care. They don't know the value. They don't need the money. It's just like not part of like their thinking process. It doesn't matter. Like there's just some people who just don't care. And those are like the jackpots you get, where you can get, if there's a $10 card, there's gonna be $110 cards. You can hit like a jackpot basically. These sold for $8, which is crazy for tips and tricks. I made a mistake. I looked at the collection and went through like half of it. I was like, oh crap, this is someone who knew their stuff. They pulled like whatever value they thought they wanted to pull, and they pulled it all. I still made money from the auction, but yeah, I'm never going to do that again unless if I'm like for sure that it's going to be making money. All right, next up is going to be something cool. This is a lot of 900 unbranded board game sleeves of various sizes. There's like some weird ones. There's this big one. I measured them as much as possible. This sold for $25. It is heavy, so $13 for shipping that they paid. So yeah, that's pretty cool that someone's going to make use of those. They probably have a bunch of board games and they just want to sleeve random sizes. All right, next up is going to be Matchbox set of 5 Hero City right here. This says number 9 right there in the package. This we got from the person that flips storage unit stuff. They don't care about the small stuff. We spent $3.50. This ended up selling for $14.99, which is pretty good for those. I had like a couple of those in the lot that we bought from them, like the pallet basically. Next up is going to be an anime book, Mars #1. Don't know anything about this one. It has a little bit of wear in the back, but this is still completely readable. This sold for $15. This was not from the person I buy anime stuff from. It was from the person that I buy books from. All right, next up is going to be a bookcase game, Mr. President. Obviously, people are going to be into politics right now. Maybe this is a gift or they want to play it after the holidays or for New Year's or something. $20.25. We picked it up because look at this front cover and we know people like politics. So yeah, $20.25 for a bookcase game is pretty good. A lot of people think they're all junk. We usually pick them up if they're cheap. Even if we sell these games for like 10 or 15, if you get them for like $1 or less, it's worth it. Or just like bulk buy them like we do. All right, next up is going to be this little arm for some kind of toy. I noticed Mom got a bunch of these toy bits and pieces a long time ago, and I just used Google reverse image to figure out what they were. This sold for $7.63. People like, for those old children's toys, there's millions of pieces that go missing. They do like to replace them. It's easy to replace them usually. You just like put it into a socket. So $7.63 for like a little arm toy. I don't know what it is. Storyers Slaughter Steel Grave. Whatever that is. That's a lot of alliteration. Made me stumble. All right, next up is going to be some pins from Loot Crates, I think. These are Team Fortress 2 collector set of 4 right there. These sold for $8.24. We got a bunch of Loot Crate stuff. None of it was too crazy. So yeah, I don't know. It's okay. 824 for something like that. It's pretty good in my opinion. All right, moving along, we have another like straggler. I listed two more of these trains that we had that were just sitting around. This one is LGB Solzbach Rosenberg, like a mine cart. It looks pretty cool, like some Donkey Kong stuff. This sold for $28.75, so that one's pretty cool. There was also another one that we had. All right, moving along is pretty cool. I can't really show it, and I don't have time to edit to put like the little listing up there. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, maybe I can see it here. Annetta, can we try to focus this one? This one's pretty cool. It's a little alien figure. His name's Kyrgy right here. He literally looks like an alien. I guess people are hype about aliens from the drones and all that stuff. People really want to see aliens at this point. I think they just want to see them. So someone got this really cool miniature. Can't see it. Can you try to focus it or no? He's pretty cool. You can go to our shop down below and look at our solds, and it should show the listing. Yeah, he's a pretty cool alien metal figure. $9.45. I like him. He looks cute and dangerous at the same time. All right, moving along. The Ardennes Battle of the Bulge. I don't know if I said that place right. It's embarrassing if I did not, but I'm just rushing. The European Theater book right here, 50th anniversary hardcover. We get a lot of military books. This sold for $18.75. Our cat's playing in the box over there. She's having fun, I guess. All right, moving along, we have a War Machine figure. Recalibrate myself right here. Exemplar Errant Seneschal solo figure. Solo figures don't go along with other figures, like usually the unit squads and stuff. This is the Menoth, the like white faction, the holy religious ones. This sold for $20. Got this at auction. Made a note that I spent $4 on it. All right, next up is going to be a Privateer Press building. Got this in a big box. I think it was like less than $20. Can't remember the price of the box of Monster Apocalypse, the old version of it. Imperial State building right here. There's a bunch of buildings. You can replace like the generic cardboard pieces with actual buildings. The monsters can like throw them into the buildings. They actually give like a bunch of special powers, debuffs, or effects like that. This is a 3-star. I can't remember if that's a rare or an uncommon. It's from I Love New York set, which is first, second, or the second set. It's been a long time since I looked at this stuff at Gen Con. That sold for $7. All right, moving along, we have 5 Monopoly pieces. Metal Monopoly player.